Latino Conservative Podcast. Listen and share with all of your friends and subscribe to my eyes. The Latino Conservative Podcast.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Andrew Alvarez. I am the Latino Conservative. Happy Wednesday. We've made it halfway through the week. We come to you every Wednesday and Friday, sometime between 8 and 9, normally about 8:30. Gives me time to get everything going, get the coffee going too. Bam. So this show is brought to you by a couple products. First one I want to talk about, though, is the Alpha Fuel pouches. Both of the products I'm going to talk about now and the one I'm talking about in a little bit, you can find those in the description. These Alpha Fuel pouches, they're just like those Zen pouches that you've seen before. They don't contain nicotine, though. They contain vitamins, minerals, and caffeine in there. There's good for a kind of a pre-workout boost, actually. I guess get some great energy out of them. In fact, I have one in right now. They're small, they're pouches, and they're full of the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. Get those in the description then and below. Today, we've got quite a few topics to talk about. We've had the 4th of July happen just Friday. I didn't go live Friday because, it was a holiday. And quite frankly, I was sleeping. Don't judge me. Don't do it. But what's happened since then? Obviously, we've heard about the flood that's been going on in my home state of Texas, over in Kerrville and San Antonio area, that's in the hill country, in case you don't know. But we've also got some Epstein file updates and some other stuff. We're going to get into that right now. So the first on the topic, and as you know, for those of you who just now first time joining me, I am visually impaired. I have to look at my notes magnified like this. That's how I read the notes. So whenever you see me with my phone up to my face, it's so I can see it. First story is, of course, it's going to be the flood that here in Texas. It's still flooded. The land is still flooded. It started on the 4th of July. Most notably, there was the Camp Mystic that was basically washed away. So far, the count is over 100. I want to say 160 people missing and 109 confirmed unalive or have passed away because of the flooding. It's something that I tell everyone that I know, especially my kids. If there is water on the ground, don't go to that water, because you never know what could be under that water. Now, this water that happened, it was from a storm. I want to say it was a hurricane actually on the Pacific side that went up. Mexico went straight up during the 4th of July. I haven't been able to verify that myself, but I just heard stories about that. No, it wasn't cloud seeding. There was cloud seeding that happened previously, but this was from a storm that passed through. How do I know? Because we got some of that storm too. But a bunch of children were taken away from us far too soon over this flood. And I will say this, I am proud to be a Texan because we have shown up and shown out on this. And I don't want to make this real political, but this is the Latino Conservative Podcast, so it has to be a little bit political at least. Texas has had, for instance, our HEB, HEB, for those of you who watching that aren't in Texas, HEB is a chain of grocery stores that is only in Texas. It was actually founded in Kerrville, Texas, where the flooding happened. They have a response team that goes out there in a flash. I mean, they're out there really quick, helping, doing actual work, taking these. They've got 18-wheelers that are loaded with food and supplies for the people that need it. They have vans that transport people over there to help. I mean, just phenomenal work by HEB. Not only that, our own people here in general. There's people here in Victoria, Texas, that my hometown, where I'm from, that have gone out there to help. It's gotten to be so, how do I say? There's gotten to be so much help from Texas to Texas that they had to start turning people away from helping because we've had too much help. Think about that. Now, back to the whole political part of this. right away, the left has, you know, really taken hold of the saying, don't let a good crisis go unused, or whatever those exact words are. Right away, they're talking about how Donald Trump's cuts made it so the federal agencies couldn't come in. And it perturbs me. It really perturbs me how you can spin a narrative like that. And the messed up part, I was about to cuss. The messed up part is that people believe it and they will perpetuate that narrative. How? Why? What benefit does it get to them to spread a lie like that? The cuts have not gone into effect yet. There's no cuts that would affect this. The the NOA that they're talking about, the National Weather Society, all of those national weather groups and agencies that the cuts will affect, they couldn't, that wouldn't have made the flood any less harmful, any less bad, because while they can show what the weather is, while they can semi predict, they can't stop it. We don't have the weather stopping capabilities yet. Is that something that might happen in the future? Who knows? Maybe, but not right now. So there were flash floods in Kirk County, and my hometown. We're actually on alert right now because we are on the Guadalupe River. The river that was flooded was the Guadalupe River, and I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw people there watching that water come in, the flash flood. It was, if you haven't seen a flash flood before, what it is water that just rises really quick. You can see the water rise. I mean, within a matter of minutes. But these people were standing on a bridge over the river and hearing them. You could hear them say, "Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes." Women, men, and children out there. Those people should have their kids taken away from them, putting them in that type of a situation. That's a deadly situation because within a matter of the length of a TikTok video, that river went from just slightly above its normal stage to going over the bridge. That is deadly. And all it takes is an inch of fast moving water to sweep you off your feet. And one bad footing, and you can go over that bridge. You go over that bridge, you get into the main body of water, you're done. You're done. And you know how kids are. Some kids, they haven't developed the mental capacity yet to understand that that water is bad. It's not something that's really nice. It's not. And they might go inspect that water and get pulled in. Not to mention everything that river holds. I can't tell you how many floods or how many flood after effects I've seen where there have been houses in trees over here in Victoria. I've seen cars in trees. I've seen animals that have no business being in a tree because of the flood. We live downstream from Kerrville on the Guadalupe River. Our saving grace right now is that Canyon Lake was at 40% capacity because of the droughts that we had and that we've had during the summertime and during the springtime. It was 40%. It wasn't at 40 something percent. It was at 60 something percent right after that flood. So that Canyon Lake, which is held by a dam, kind of gave us some relief. Now, our river is already up here in Victoria. It has gone past flood stage, but it hasn't nowhere near the flood of 98 or the any other flood that we've had since then, 75. We've had some big floods here. It hasn't got there yet. Thank goodness for that, and you know what random luck we had that the Canyon Lake was down to 40%, less than half of its capacity. It was filled. Now, I saw somebody do the math comparing it to the Niagara Falls, how it has so many, like 60,000 gallons of, 60 billion gallons of water per hour over the Niagara Falls. And that was about half of what fell in the rains. Basically, they had 12 inches of rain in a couple hours, which is huge. It's big numbers, big numbers. I don't know if you can physically think that, mentalize that, foot. That's 12 inches. Now that may not seem like a lot. That really may not seem like a lot. But imagine that 12 inches that they measure comes out of a 1 inch tube. The tubes that you see, those rain gauges, they measure 1 inch by 12 inches. That's the measurement. Now take that measurement and multiply it by however many times you got to go around that piece of land. That's how much water fell. It's almost unthinkable of how that happens. So let's look at the next topic here. So the next topic that I've got here is about the blame of this. I mentioned that I was going to try not to make too much of a political speech about this, but there is some blame on this. For one, Austin, Texas. Good old capital of Texas, the most liberal city in Texas out there. Liberal, progressive, whatever you want to call it. The fire chief, and I'm not so certain on his name, but looks like he came right out of AOC's back pocket, or Sheila Jackson Lee's back pocket. This dude refused and denied help to Kerrville from the Austin Fire Department. Austin Fire Department has some of the best rescue swimmers out there. Definitely the best in Texas. They are equipped and trained for the hill country because Austin is in the hill country. This flood happened in the hill country. Some of the best rescue swimmers out there in the nation. They comparative to the Coast Guard. Really and truly comparative to the Coast Guard. They were denied access to go help by the Austin fire chief. Now, right away, and I applaud the people of the Austin Fire Department. They are actually giving a vote of no confidence in the fire chief to get him eliminated, terminated out of his position. Because why? Why? And I promise you that once, if that were to happen, if that would have been a conservative guy that did that, oh, the Dems would be all over that. Would be all over it, saying that he denied life-saving treatment and whatnot. All that stuff that they come up with. But they've also tried to blame Trump. And I've talked about this a little bit already, saying how he and his tax cuts or his cost cuts from Doge basically made the flood worse. Well, no, they haven't taken effect yet. None of the cuts have taken effect. But again, like I said, a tax cut, funding relief, funding cuts, whatever you want to call it, will not prevent the weather. They won't. It's physically impossible. If I give more money to the NAACP than I do to LULAC, that is not going to change the weather at all. At all. It's going to happen. The weather's going to happen. And it is, in my opinion, that the weather is only going to get worse in time. That's just biblically what is going to happen. They are also blaming Trump for not getting the federal agencies here quicker. I mentioned this on a radio show this morning. I don't think there was room for any any federal agencies to get there. I really don't. Now, yes, Mexico sent some rescue workers over here. I get that. But there's also a pact or a treaty or whatever you want to call it that's decades, years old, saying that they're going to help us in times of natural disaster. Same with us. We're going to help them in times of natural disaster. Now, the left is already saying that Trump refused to get people here. And I think it is my 100% wholehearted opinion that there was no more room for the federal agencies to be out here. There isn't. We've got so many people out there right now that they are getting turned away. I believe that if we were to have any other people there, that a couple things are going to happen or could happen. One, there's not going to be room for people that really know how to help. Texas has a lot of experts in a lot of things, a lot of people that are really good, the best in a lot of things that know how to help Texas. Texas helping Texans. People from other states don't know how we are and how we recuperate and how we act, how to treat us best because they're not part of our lives here. It's like trying to send someone from California over here to help Texas. It doesn't work. Now, I applaud the effort that they have. I really do. But at the end of the day, Texans know how to help Texans best. That's why HEB has gone out there so quick. Even Walmart has had force out there. But I believe well, for one, it would take a long time to get them over here from another state to help. Federal agencies are in, Washington, D.C. and places like that. They'd still be driving. So they wouldn't get here in time. One, they'd be turned away because there's no more room for them to come in and help. Two, or they would interfere with people that know what they're doing, with people that know how to help. We've got a couple groups here down in Victoria that's making the 3 hour, 4 hour drive there to go take stuff like box fans and supplies and lights and like hands to work. I know these people in DC have never dealt with a Weisach tree. They don't know that in the middle of the Texas summer, if you're working with Weisach, you don't go with no sleeves on. You got to wear long sleeves, sometimes thick clothes. They're not conditioned for that. Those Weisach trees, just so you know, they have those big old thorns on them and they cut you. That country has a lot of Weisach trees. That country also has a lot of snakes, a lot of water moccasins. They wouldn't know what to do with that if they're trying to go out there, help out, get their hands dirty, which, again, if they try to go out there and get their hands dirty, I applaud them, but they're going to get in the way. That is one reason why I believe that Trump hasn't rushed them out here. Besides, if you donate your time, talents, or treasures to the Red Cross, there is a good chance that only a fraction of that money that you donate to the Red Cross, only a fraction will go to that cause because it has to go to their national bank first and then distribute it out to wherever they want to distribute it to, not directed to that. Now they may advertise, and you see these advertised all the time, banners on websites, support, help the people of this country, or Puerto Rico, when Puerto Rico got hit by the hurricanes, help the people of Florida. You see that all the time. But still, the fact remains, the money that is donated to the Red Cross for a cause goes to the Red Cross, their general fund, and it gets distributed everywhere. So only a fraction actually gets sent to where we think it's going to get sent to. Next topic on here. Let's see what it is. Dun, dun, dun. Green Giant. Guns, ice, and the 4th of July. Okay, so here's one. It kind of hits me a little close to home. One, because I have a son that is deployed on mission to protect our border in the U.S. military. Now, there was an attacker in McAllen, Texas, and in Alvarado, Texas. They're gone. The threat has been eliminated, at least the one that's in McAllen. McAllen, Texas, this guy was, he decided he wanted to attack. He had tactical vest on and he had all the fancy, equipment that you can buy on Amazon, blah, 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 blah. But he attacked what amounted to ICE's SWAT team. SWAT, for those of you who are totally under a rock, special weapons and tactics. Yeah, they're the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. Los chingones. He attacked them. This lone gunman, who probably had no training other than Call of Duty, decided to attack the SWAT team from ICE on the 4th of July. There was also another one in Alvarado, Texas, that they eliminated this guy, this threat, before any real damage was done. He attacked at 11 people, 11 ICE border patrols. They eliminated him, and he's gone. That goes to show what I talked about previously in a previous episode, how things might happen on the 4th of July, but you've got and they're all lefties. They're all lefties. They are working so hard to cause damage to this country. So hard to cause damage to this country. Why are you even here if you want to damage the country? Why? And if you're watching live and there's some noise in the background, just you remember, I'm in a home studio. Don't mind it at all. The kids, they're here. So don't mind it at all, though. At all. You know, I love each and every one of them. I let them play around. You might even see my cat up here every now and then. My little Sasha, she's running around somewhere, is causing hell. Sometimes she likes to play with this light. You see this light go off and it turns off. But these people are trying to destroy our country. They should be eliminated, in my opinion. And I'll let you think on that for a second. But it happened on the 4th of July when we're supposed to be celebrating our country's birthday. 1776, baby. Not a day earlier. And so the next sponsored product that I have, this thing right here. Let me open this up for you. So this right here is called a PEC nasal inhaler. You've all seen those. In fact, I could smell it this far away. You've all seen those Vicks nasal inhalers that one side you put in one nose, or even those boomsticks. This one is 10 times better. Why? Because it's got two, one for each nostril. And this one, my goodness, they come in different flavors. This one's a cinnamon mint flavor. That is, I love those cinnamon candies that you get sometimes at the restaurants. But this one, my goodness, gives you a quick wake up. It smells phenomenal. I mean, you can really feel the energy on this. And it's made with eucalyptus. And that's what all these other ones are made with, this eucalyptus. But this has a stronger scent to it. And since you can put it in both of your nostrils, you get double the power. And I'm addicted to these things. These are like crack to me. You can find these in my affiliate link in the description. Every time you purchase either one of these, the Alpha Fuel pouches or the PEC nasal inhalers, I get a small commission that helps keep the show going. So check those out. They're on the Amazon. I've got the Amazon affiliate links below. So let's talk some more news here that's going on. We got shots fired at the border. We just talked about that. Epstein files. Who's still being protected? And that's the question mark. And that's what I want to know. Who's still being protected by the Epstein files? So Pam Bondi came out and said that she had the files on her desk. You know, the infamous binder that was pre-printed with nothing on there. And then she gave out binders to different news outlets, news anchors and whatnot, or journalists, I should say. Then you have Dan Bongino come on, saying that he did unalive himself. Epstein did unalive himself, or at least he said that there's no proof to the I lost my word. There's no proof saying that he didn't do that. Kash Patel, basically the same thing. Now people are saying that Dan Bongino, when he talked about it, that he looked like he was scared. I couldn't really hear see the facial expressions he has because again, I can't see very well. His tone sounded the same to me when he said that. But what's really going on? Apparently there is no Epstein's list, which we've already know that there is an Epstein list. We've seen it already. We've seen names on there. Bill Clinton's on there. Will Smith is on there. Bill Gates is on there. There's a bunch of names that have already been publicized. But why are we now saying that there's no list? There's even a video going out there when Trump was talking to a reporter who asked about the Epstein files, and he basically shut her down, saying, are we still talking about this? We still talking about Epstein after years and years? What? Yes, we are still talking about it. We want to know what's going on. Who is being protected by this list, by the files, by the feds? Who's being protected? My personal opinion. Now, mind you, this is more of a conspiracy theory style opinion that I have, but I believe that somebody very important has their name on that list. We already know that Prince Andrew is on there as well, but somebody very important has their name on that list. And if that name were to be exposed, then there would be some damage done. Political damage, possibly, more than likely political damage. Now, who that person is, I don't know. I don't think it's Donald Trump. I don't think it's him himself, but I think it's somebody that he is working with. My personal opinion, again, it's not someone domestic, someone international, maybe somebody from Saudi Arabia or something like that, some high up from another country that we do a lot of business in. It's just my opinion. Don't come knocking on my door, with no files or anything. Well, one, I wouldn't be able to read them right away, but still, don't be coming knocking on my door because that is just my opinion. I'm not doxing anybody, so don't do it. Or two, the second thing that's going on that I believe could happen with this. I believe there is a deep state, a deep state that goes beyond the party lines, beyond the Republican, Democrat, GOP, liberal. It goes beyond that, all encompassing, behind the veil type things. I believe there's something, a body, an entity like that. What very well could happen as well is somebody could have handed over a folder to Dan Bongino, Cash Patel, to Pam Bondi, to Donald Trump. They open up that folder, and in their folder is a picture of JFK. If you don't do what we tell you to do in this matter, that's going to be you. Again, my opinion, conspiracy theory. I have no factual evidence of that at all. So again, don't come knocking on my door, but it could happen. It could be true, or it could be aliens. Illegal? I don't know. So that's another question. Now, round up that ADD moment. Squirrel. If there are aliens out there, I'm not talking about the ones that illegally come over the border, the ones that come through the sky, the alien aliens. How would we deport them? Can we deport them? And there's a fly around here. Oh my goodness, it's annoying. But if we had aliens, the little green men from Mars, the Greys, the lizard people, we had them come over, how in the hell would we deport them? Can we deport them? I mean, beam me up, Scotty. Would we want to deport them? I mean, would the lizard people kind of taste like alligator? Hey guys, thanks again for letting me rant and rave at you. Again, my name is Andrew Alvarez. I'm the Latino Conservative. Don't forget, hit that like button. Share this with everyone you know. Hit that alarm button so you know each time that we go live. Thank y'all. Have a great day.
Let's enjoy the show.
I
am Latino and I am conservative. We talk about things like politics and religions and society and government. So please subscribe and enjoy the show. The Latino